We are now live. Hey everybody, welcome back to our Sports Talk podcast. Talk Doctor
Mhm,
51
mhm,
here, Kelly with
mhm.
Ryan, Rhino Bucket.
They
If you
changed the
just
intro now.
now, well, if you let me get to it, we've been discussing for last week now. We are going to change this whole thing. Basically, we're actually just changing the name. So we have a new name that we're going to present here next time as well. We're going to do this on YouTube as well. Ryan, would you like to go ahead and tell everybody the name of our new sports talk?
Welcome to the Big Fat Dub Sports.
So yes, it is technically called Big Fat Dub, but we're not going to just do sports. We'll do other stuff as well, like we've done in the past. But yes, Big Fat Dub. We have decided
Dubs.
Dubs. Excuse me. Big Fat Dubs will be the official name of our channel.
We're officially going to make it a channel. We're going to officially make this on YouTube so we don't take up Kel's Twitch and everything like that. Plus, make it official. And again, yeah, we're going to go on YouTube exclusively. And just hopefully, make this into something kind of like what we want it to be. So,
Right. Also, it gives us a chance for because we personally, if we just want to personally want to upload something, that way it gives us one of the chance. If something all of a sudden comes up, we want to share it real quick. If the other person can't be here, or just something that came up, that way we both have access to
mhm.
as well. So it's a win-win. So that being said,
Officially make a proper introduction. Welcome to the Big Fat Dub Sports. Here
good.
for the Week 9 review of the NFL and our Week 10 predictions. That's how you make an intro.
You're doing it from now on. Then you're the intro
You gotta
guy.
learn, boy.
There you go.
You gotta learn. I can't carry you.
Can't carry me. Oh, fine. You can carry me. There. I'll just be the good-looking guy that sits right here and like, yep, yep.
You're gonna be like, Kelly who?
It's
Kelly
all
who?
about it's all about that guy.
You're the man in the chair. Just the guy in the chair.
I'm just the guy in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Matt in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go ahead and hop right into this Week 9 review. Starting off with our Thursday night game, Eagles at the Texans. About what we expected with the Eagles. Now
Mm-hmm.
still undefeated.
Still undefeated, kind of what you expected. Texans gave him a run. But the Eagles are really good. I mean, they have a legitimate shot of actually going undefeated. I don't think they will. Their time is going to come up soon. But really got to just give them the credit they deserve, being 8-0 at this point. The way Hurts is playing, the way the team is playing. And, are we seeing something special? Who knows?
Yeah, are we? Is it going to end? Is it going to go all the way? Depends. We'll know here soon enough, especially if the Dolphins get to celebrate again. 72
Ah,
days.
dude, I'll make that clear.
I should. Anyway, yeah. Pretty easy win here for the Eagles. With Jalen doing Jalen stuff. Also getting the tight end there involved a bit more. Texans were looking pretty good, but unfortunately fell. By the way, Houston's running back, Pierce there, been actually looking pretty good. Feel sorry for the guy that, it's not panning out for wins for him, but he's been actually looking pretty good. I'm glad to see there's somebody there at least having somewhat of a good season and unfortunately being not on a good team.
I mean, it could be just the 1 year, though. He'll probably tank next year.
It could be. Yeah, we've seen that happen many a times.
Yep.
All right. Moving on. A good matchup here. The Chargers at the Falcons. Mario almost came back with the Falcons and won this game.
Hmm? This was a must win for the Chargers. I mean, they've been kind of really underperforming this year, and the Falcons really needed this win, kind of keep up on the NFC South title. Um, so great win for the Chargers. Great game for both. Also a battle of two former Oregon Duck quarterbacks, two Heisman hopefuls. One of them actually winning the Heisman. Just a really good overall performance by both teams. Strong defense performances. Offenses on both ends kind of struggled, but when you play two really good defenses, I mean, this is kind of what you thought. But also, just a big shout out for the Chargers for coming back and getting the win.
Yeah,
They needed it. They really
did.
needed it.
Struggling, these last.
Underperforming.
I think they've actually lost all three of those games in a row, or lost only two in a row.
Two in a row
before this win.
Two in a row, and then they
So, yeah, good to see them getting back on the win. Hopefully, the Falcons actually can bounce back because they're actually showing something this year in that division.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much almost up for grabs right now.
It really is.
Moving on to the Dolphins at the Bears. Dolphins coming up with a win, and Justin Fields just ran wild with all over that Dolphins defense. But
well, he performed the way that people think that Justin Fields should play every year. This is a problem with him. He's very inconsistent. One week he looks like the Field that everyone has been hoping for, and then other weeks he looks like the Fields that we all know. Dolphins coming up big with the win, kind of gaining ground on the Bills for that AFC West or AFC East title. Tua and Tyreek are just playing really well together. Hopefully, we'll see if that continues throughout the season. The Bears had a big, had a big comeback. We'll see what happens next week with the Bears, though, because, again, they do well one week, and the next week they just suck. So
I actually want to ask you this, because I've been talking to a couple other people about this. Do you think Justin Fields is just not trusting his wide receivers, not trusting the arm, and that's why he's just tucking and running mostly now?
Hard to really say. I think he's just not that good. I don't think he's good. That's the thing. I don't think if it's... He might not trust it because honestly, he doesn't have anyone to throw to. I mean, he doesn't have a weapon. Darnell Mooney is his best weapon, but on any other team, he's someone's number 3 at best. So I don't think it could be a trust issue. It could just be that he just doesn't have confidence in himself. I mean, he has the arm. He has the arm straight, but he's not accurate. That's his big fault, is that he's not accurate at all.
Yeah, and then, like I've said many times, I feel like he's just trying way too hard. He's trying to be like pretty much like Kyler Murray almost in a sense. Sometimes, most of the time, And now he's just a little, thinks that he can make these big plays now with his feet instead of his arm.
Yep.
So we'll see. I don't know. I don't care for Fields personally, but that's just me. But we'll see what happens going forward. Next, Panthers at the Bengals. PJ Walker got benched in this game, and Baker Mayfield got to come back in.
Well, when you're throwing, when you're really shitting, you only have 9 yards in the first half alone, and I think you had 2 or 3 picks. Yeah, you deserve to get benched. Carolina Panthers are honestly probably the worst team in NFL right now. I honestly, truly believe they are the worst team in the NFL right now. They look like crap. They tank everything. I mean, trading off Christian McCaffrey was kind of the clear sign that they're just dumping everything to hopefully get new things. Yeah. Which is kind of sad, to see that. But honestly, that's the path they're choosing, and honestly, they'll probably get the number 1 pick because honestly, they're just that terrible. And I think the biggest thing you have to take on this game is you can't really see anyone's performance outside of Mixon's performance. What a very career day with 5 touchdowns. Very unheard of by a running back. So credit for this win doesn't need to go to Burrow or anybody else, but just to Joe Mixon. Because without Mixon's performance, obviously this game is a completely different one. And so alone, you take away the 1 receiving touchdown. He had 4 rushing touchdowns. So Mixon deserves all the credit for this game. What a great win for the Bengals. A good bounce back for them. And again, I think we're seeing the true Panthers. They're just that terrible.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, Jimar. It's sad to see the Panthers, falling that far. Especially when they used to be a pretty good, high quality team. Now they're just going downhill, and yeah, we can already see the rebuilding years are going to start happening here real soon. I mean, it literally actually pretty much started this year, or you could even say last year with Sam Darnold, and then trying to go with Mayfield, but now with McCaffrey gone, and then Robbie Anderson getting kicked off the team.
That's not a big loss for me. I don't think that's a big loss. I don't think that's a big loss because Robbie Anderson has not. He was their best receiver, but he's not that great. And we'll talk about that when we get to the Hawks game against the Cardinals. But I don't think he was actually that good.
Well, I think he was only their number 2 anyways.
Yeah.
DJ Morrison number 1.
Yeah. So losing Robbie Anderson really means nothing to me, in the sense of like, did that affect Carolina? No, it didn't. It actually was better. They got rid of him because he was a piss poor attitude, and he never really he's a guy who would have like 1 or 2 games a year that were amazing. Other than that, he was always just very much a bland receiver. The biggest loss was Christian McCaffrey, and the team hasn't been the same since losing Luke Kuechly. Let's be real. Since Luke Kuechly retired, the Carolina Panthers have not been good. Jack Thompson has not performed the way that you would want him to perform. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Cam Newton when he came back. I can't think of the other kid's name. PJ Walker. There's another kid from like 2 years ago. They just don't perform as quarterbacks, and it's kind of sad because you have one of the best running backs in the game, and you just can't hit a quarterback to fit him.
Teddy Bridgewater.
No, it wasn't him. It was like Allen or something like that. Yeah, Bridgewater too, but the other kid I'm thinking about was like Allen. Something Allen. I honestly don't remember his name.
Yeah, does that sound familiar?
We don't need to look.
No, I'm not going to look it up, but anyway. All right, moving on. Packers at the Lions. Lions pulling out the upset over the Packers, and I think we're seeing the self-destruction there.
I said that we've been seeing that, and honestly, this was a really bad game. Like, this was honestly a really terrible game. If you truly think about it, was terrible.
You're not just saying about one team, though. You're saying
the game.
Teams.
The game itself was terrible.
Both teams.
The game itself was terrible. Like, it was literally just a bad game. And a good win for the Lions, I guess. You needed this win, but honestly, it was a terrible game. And to be fair, too, we are seeing the destruction, the downfall of the Green Bay Packers. I don't think they really can bounce back too much this year. They might go on a winning streak here and there, but honestly, Aaron Rodgers has kind of proved the difference between when Favre was doing the shit that Rodgers was doing is that Favre could always back it up. Favre could always play at a high level in every team that he went to. Rodgers is not playing at a high level, and the excuses of he doesn't have weapons is kind of playing in that tone. And it's just kind of like, well, Rodgers, were you only good because of your weapons, or are you actually good? I think that's the big thing, is that can he win without these so-called big-name weapons?
Yeah, we know a certain quarterback that has done it without so-called big weapons.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, I'm not really almost expecting at this point the Packers to even be over 500 by the end of the season. Right now, the way it's kind of going.
I can. They'll make a push. They'll be close.
I think they'll at least have 8 or 9 wins at this rate. That's kind of like what I'm looking at, but we'll see.
That's above 500.
Yeah.
And they go 8 and 9. They'll go either 8 and 9 or 9 and 8.
Yeah. We'll see. Colts at the Patriots. I don't think we need to talk about this. Colts just literally not been a great team this year.
Nope.
At all. Firing their head coach this week and then naming Jeff Saturday as their interim coach. Day? Or yesterday?
Monday.
Yes. I mean, just pretty much sums up what that team is struggling through right now.
Yep.
But yeah, Patriots getting the win over there. Jones looking pretty good as well.
They needed this. They needed this kind of game. And it's sad to watch the Colts just be another team that is kind of underperforming. But honestly, It is what it is. I kind of figured the Colts were going to be this bad.
I think we all kind of did. It sucks for Matt Ryan. I feel bad for the guy, but I mean, you were already going downhill before you even went over to this team.
Yep.
But I also do feel bad for the Colts organization. 3 top quarterbacks in 3 years, and they're all letting him down. So it's just Colts. You got to find your quarterback. Also, hopefully, you can get some other guys to step up, or find some other guys that are willing to step up, get back on track. Next, we have the Bills at the Jets. Jets with the upset.
Yeah, I mean, needless to say, this was just an upset win. The Jets were playing at a high level, and honestly, Josh Allen in this game just did not play well. He threw 2 picks, very costly in the game. We're hoping to see what happens with his elbow injury. Sounds like it may not be too bad, but, we'll see. Obviously, Kell's probably going to say it's nothing. That's because that's his quarterback, and, he can't afford to lose any more games. So, but, I mean, that's all I'm going to say on this game. Jets came out fired up, ready to play. Sauce Gardner actually is looking really well as a defensive rookie of the year candidate, in my opinion. Just playing very well and everything like that. Just the Jets outplayed the Bills. That's all it really is.
Pretty much. I mean, even who was it? The running back Hall had a great game.
No, it was Carter.
Carter Hall's the one that's out, right?
Hall's the one that's off in the
So
area.
Carter having a good game on the ground from what I saw in that game, doing really well. I think honestly, this is the Bills actually need to lose a game here real soon. Just help them, remind them, hey, you're not invincible, and then this will help them push forward to help them win.
They never act like they were unstoppable.
It kind of felt that way to me because everybody's like, oh yeah, the Bills are gonna run up the score on everybody except for like when they play like KC. Like, oh yeah, that's just gonna be a close one.
One of those guys.
Yeah, but I'm looking because I was looking at stat wise. I'm looking at like, oh yeah, they have all these great weapons, all that, yeah. And I admit that.
Cameron, admit that.
I admit it.
Look at yourself in the camera there, and you're one of those guys. You needed a humble pie, not the Bills. You needed some humble pie. Don't blame us on the Bills needing humble pie. You needed humble pie. The fans need humble pie.
Anyway, that division now is even more close. Now with that, the Jets getting the win over the Bills. So you literally have Bills, Jets, and Miami now all really close, with the Patriots kind of creeping back up in there. So division's getting tight.
It is.
Next, Vikings at the Commanders. And this was kind of not a good game for the Vikings. It was kind of ugly for them.
Kind of what you figured, though. The Commanders are a better team with Heineke at quarterback. They're just playing really. They're out to not quit and everything like that. But the Vikings handle their business, handle what they needed to do. They played a good team and came out with the victory, which they needed again to keep up on the Packers with the division and kind of solidify their spot. Kind of an average game for Kirk Cousins. I like to see them just continue on with this reign, and hopefully it goes farther than what it's, the traditional, what people think of the Vikings. We'll see, but honestly, it's fun to watch them right now.
Yeah, it is. I agree. Next up, we have the Raiders at the Jaguars. I tell you, I cannot, with these two teams this year, I cannot get right when they're going to win, when they're going to lose. And I feel sorry for Devontae Adams having a great day finally with the Raiders, and he still can't get the
I
win.
just feel bad for the Raiders. This is like the third or fourth game that I can recall. They were actually winning, and then they lost in the end. So Josh McDaniels, to me, has not proven to be a good coach. Honestly, amid his controversy things, Gruden had this team going in the right direction. They need a coach like Gruden again. They need a coach like John Gruden. Like he knows how to work with this organization and work with these guys. McDaniels is just an OC, and that's all he is. And he proved that in Denver when he was head coach there for a while. He's a great OC, obviously a good OC. Um, we get the channel for the Kraken game right now. It's on TNT.
Oh, it's on TNT.
Yeah.
Can't even watch it.
But I mean, with this game, like I said, I think they need it. I think they need a different coach.
Yeah, that's the way it's looking right now. Yeah. I mean, the way this is going, McDaniels is going to be fired here after the end of the season, if that.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to give him one more, but
I think they're going to get I think they're going to start looking at a different quarterback than getting McDaniels soon. It's a possibility that they're thinking that Carr is not the guy anymore.
I don't know. I think Carr is still I think he's still the guy. He just needs that.
I think so too.
I think
so
Gruden.
too.
I still believe when Gruden came in, he was that coach that he needed.
Exactly. But you think about how many coordinators and coaches Carr's had in his career. At some point, they are going to point the fingers at Carr, even though there was the right guy in Gruden. But it is what it is. They're not going to get John Gruden
It was
back.
kind of like, the Alex Smith days in San Francisco. How many coaches and offensive coordinators or even QB coaches did he go through until Harbaugh came along and set him on the right path? So it's almost like the same thing.
Almost. Not as much so as Derek Carr, though.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But it's almost similar.
Yeah.
Up next, we have the Seahawks at the Cardinals. Good game by the Seahawks again with this game. Good performance by Geno. And
Cardinals to win.
I actually did go with that. I actually did. Because it's...
You can wash your mouth. That was so... Ever believing in Kyler Murray and the trash
It was
that he
positive. It was positive reinforcement.
Go wash your mouth out with the shit.
I've done that twice this year where I picked the opposite team and Seattle's actually won.
Yep.
So, like I always said, even though Seahawks, I love you to death and pick this team, I still hope you win. That's fine.
Yeah, but see, who was the other game that you did that to? It
wasn't the Giants.
Was it the Chargers?
It was the Chargers.
Yeah, I can admit that. I can admit that one because the Chargers should have won that game. Wash your mouth out thinking Kyler Murray is going to beat the Seahawks.
That feeling because, pretty much the Cardinals are that team that like to beat us at least once a year. So
I'll say this:
either
Russell Wilson, you get a week off because you had a bye week, so you just get a quick fuck you. My week this week will be Kyler Murray bashing because he looks like shit. Kyler Murray. One of the big things, and I said this to you, and I've said this about the Seahawks. Great win for the Seattle Seahawks. I think compared to previous years and the previous success years, this was this is the most balanced team that we have. Because I think about it this way: back in the Super Bowl era, we had a killer defense, we had a monstrous defense, and then we had a very monstrous running game where our quarterback play was good. This, I feel, is we have a very strong defense and a very strong offense. Balance-wise, because Geno's not throwing the deep balls like Wilson and everything like that. He's spraying the ball around, playing a short game. But guys like DJ Dallas, Travis Homer, and of course Kenneth Walker are solidifying a good run game. And defensively, we have a great pass rush led by Nwasu, who's killing it right now as a DN. Jordan Brooks is one of the top tier linebackers in the league. And our DB core is finally kind of playing at a high level, and we're starting to see some resurgence from a rough start from like guys like Kobe Bryant. And now he's playing the corner that we kind of thought he was. The Cardinals, on the other hand, I love J.J. Watt. That's all I'm going to say. I love J.J. Watt. I feel bad for him. I also feel bad for DeAndre Hopkins. You could tell, and you saw it on some of the camera views, he was very upset with Kyler Murray's decisions. And I think it goes to show Kyler is very overrated. Kyler's not this great quarterback that everyone so thought. I mean, he showed a little bit last year in the regular season, but really showed it in the playoff game against the Rams. He's not good. This team is not good. I think at the end of the season, Cliff Kingsbury is probably going to get fired this year or maybe next year if it goes like this again. I think the Cardinals are showing that they are just not good anymore.
I think so too. Also, I want to thank your boy Brooks. He's actually the number one leading tackler now after this, if I recall seeing.
Yeah.
And also, one thing I wanted to point out is in this game, the tight ends. The tight ends I thought were a major factor in this game for Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Top three tight ends, or all three string tight ends played one great game, all contributed, and then also shout out to Parkinson's making a heads up play, going down that sideline and pulling Fant, keeping Fant from going out of bounds. That was a great heads up play, dude.
Well, again, that's where I think that this team is just more balanced. This is a Pete Carroll led team. This is exactly what you thought Pete Carroll would do. And really credit does have to go to Geno Smith for playing at a level that he is. I don't think he's MVP. I think people need to hold up on that, but he deserves recognition. He's a Pro Bowler in my mind. The Hawks are 6-3, which is a lot more than what people thought they were going to do this year. Leading a very tough division that's going to be a battle with San Francisco, but honestly, Seattle deserves the credit for being the most balanced team out there right now.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, all these teams you can say are balanced, like the Chiefs and the Bills, they have a fucking quarterback that's MVP. Seattle doesn't. I think they have a Rookie of the Year. I think they have multiple Rookie of the Year candidates, though.
Yep.
And Tyreek Woodland, Michael Jackson, and Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I mean we
struck gold. That's the thing that people need to see about Seattle. This draft class this year, we struck gold. We got two offensive tackles for the future, a future running back who actually was listed as the best run. He actually won the award for best running back in college football. We also had Kobe Bryant, who was actually won the award for best corner in college football last year. So we struck gold.
Yeah, which of course we're happy about.
Yeah.
But that's actually one thing is we've seen it over the years with both Carroll and Snyder is that they find these guys out there that are not very high ranked, but they still are really great players, and that they actually fit their system of football.
Well, this is where we're going to start seeing some good things happen, because in the early Carroll and Snyder days, we started seeing that. And then for the last 10 years, we didn't get to see it. Well, that's because we were focusing on how to build a team around Russell Wilson. Now we don't have that. Russell's gone. We didn't want to pay Russell. Russell wanted to leave. So now it's, how do we build a team again? Well, let's build it from the ground up. And that's what they did. That's the funny part is that this team was supposed to be the team that was supposed to be the dumpster fire garbage and no one wanted to play for. Can't really say that now because people would rather play for Seattle than Denver if you had the choices.
Oh, yeah.
Because Russ doesn't bring that. Russ brings selfishness. The team for Seattle is playing, and this proved right here. We're out to win a division. We're out to make the playoffs, and the Cardinals are not. The Cardinals are trash. Straight up garbage. Kyler Murray gone. You could say that the Hawks won because Kyler Murray was bad. No, the Seahawks just outplayed them, and Kyler Murray's also bad. It's both ways.
Yeah.
You even saw it in the first game, Arizona and Seattle. Kyler Murray was bad, and Seattle played well. Against the Giants, they played well against a 6-1 Giants team. They beat the Chargers. Arguably supposed to be a top-tier team in the AFC. Went in LA and won. Team's not bad. They've only had one really bad game, but it's a game we all kind of thought it was going to be. Now, we haven't seen the Hawks play the Niners, or not, excuse me, the Rams. So we'll see if this is accurate. But you never know. The Rams aren't playing well, too.
Right. Also, too, like you said, Hopkins, Watt, even Zach Ertz, guys they all went out and get to help this team on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
You could see, I'm pretty sure JJ is getting frustrated too. Like, why did I, come over here? I thought it'd be, at least a Super Bowl contending team.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Ertz, even though I don't think he should have left Philadelphia.
Well, he got traded, so.
I know, unfortunately. He should have been there the rest of his career, in my opinion. But, another guy, I was hoping that he'd still go on to a high-caliber team, and now it's just... I feel sorry for some of these guys.
I do, too.
But it's the risk you take in any sport,
I feel bad for him, too. And they're going to be loyal and everything like that. But this is exactly what Seattle went through with Russell Wilson. An overhyped quarterback, a quarterback who seems very selfish, doesn't put in the work and everything like that, and playing at a really piss-poor level. Like, honestly, Kyler Murray looks like crap. He didn't make a lot of good throws. He had, a couple drives where he scored? But, okay, you get the ball probably, 20 times in a game. You can't can't do the things you do. You're supposed to be. That's the thing. That's the thing about Heisman quarterbacks too, in my opinion. The most overhyped players in all of football.
Yep.
There's not been a lot of Heisman winners to make it in the NFL and be as successful. Derrick Henry kind of is.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry is.
He's paying up, but he's a running back.
But he's a running back, and the Titans are also a one-hit wonder. They kill it in the regular season, and they take it in the postseason.
Right.
And I love this man, Tim Tebow, great college athlete, didn't pan well in the NFL. Reggie Bush, amazing talent at USC, should have been a 2-time Heisman winner. Sucked in the NFL. Mariota, great college quarterback in Oregon, hasn't had a great career in the NFL. And that's the thing. It's like these number one draft picks, these Heisman winners. You see more success out of number one draft picks in the NBA than you do the NFL. My opinion. Kind of helps when LeBron James is in that category for the NBA. And you're like, well, the reason why is because you have a guy like LeBron who's one of the greatest players of all time. One of the greatest of all players. Not the. I can kiss my ass without the greatest. One of the greatest. Always going to be Jordan.
All right, moving on. We have the Rams at the Buccaneers. Two teams struggling this season. Buccaneers getting that late touchdown, getting the win.
This was a sad game. Because this has been a sad season for both these teams. And, this is one of the first Buccaneers games I actually got to watch this year. So, I have an opinion on why they suck. And for all you people who want to throw Tom Brady's name in that reason why they suck, it ain't Brady. It's his weapons. It's his team. First of all, his offensive line is terrible. Second, he threw so many good balls to his receivers, and they dropped them.
Yep, that's one thing we were talking about.
Like, Mike Evans dropped, at least 3 or 4 that we watched.
Yep.
Scotty Miller had a wide-open touchdown in the end zone to win the game a little bit earlier in the series, and it went up, and it hit him in the head.
Hit him in the face guard.
Because he didn't put his hands up.
Yep. Even Godwin's struggling, too.
Godwin's struggling. Leonard Fournette's struggling. And actually, someone who's actually not struggling, and again, you want to play this position for Tom Brady as your tight end, Cade Otton. Cade Otton was the only guy who actually could catch a damn ball to save their life.
But I think only the last 3 weeks he's been getting more playing time lately.
Well, it's because Cameron Brate's been hurt, I think, so he's been stepping in. So fantasy owners, if you have a chance to get Cade Otton, grab him now. Because Brady loves tight ends. But to that point, though, you say the Buccaneers are bad. Rams are worse.
Rams are very, very disappointing, especially their lack of offense. Their defense is struggling too.
It really is. Outside of Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, they don't have a good defense.
Not really.
And I will say, I know someone's going to ask me why did I not say Bobby Wagner? Bobby Wagner is not that great on the Rams. Kind of underperforming in my opinion. Like they should have literally a great 1-2 combo in Donald and Wagner.
Yeah, you got the line, you got the linebackers, and then you got the DBs. I mean,
but they're not. And honestly, a lot of this has to revolve around Matthew Stafford's health. He doesn't look like he's injured. Looks like he's playing hurt, and the offensive line is not good. This is where I think Seattle could make a run. But I mean, look what the Niners did in the both games against the Rams. They literally kicked the living shit out of them.
Yep.
So that's where I'm thinking that like the Rams are really they're kind of done.
At this point, yeah, it's kind of feeling that way right now. It's just like they're not even playoff worthy right now.
Mm-hmm.
The way,
which is sad because both these teams were Super Bowl. They were the two previous Super Bowl winners. And I think this is where we're going to change. Brady's going to turn it around and everything like that. And he needed a win like this. I think he's going to struggle though, but he's going to at least they'll win the division by being like one game over 500. That's how bad the division is.
Yeah, that is not.
But then again, you still don't want to play Brady in the playoffs because playoff Brady's is a whole different animal. Now he's single Brady. If I was Tom Brady, but like single Tom Brady, we're gonna win a Super Bowl.
That's for Tom Brady. All right, yeah, definitely. We'll have to see how the Buccaneers play out. Like I said, I think they'll still make the playoffs, but like you said, they're just barely gonna make it in. I think they'll get in either by winning their division.
It's a technicality thing.
I think yeah.
It's all technicality. They're gonna technically win it because of the division. Because honestly, there are too many good teams to be a wild card team, like the Niners, the Giants, the Cowboys, for example. Niners / Seahawks. Whoever doesn't win the NFC West is probably going to make the wild card. And then the Giants and the Cowboys are just. There are going to be 3 teams out of that NFC East. The only other team that could make it, if the Buccaneers make it, win the division, is the Falcons, but just barely.
Yeah, no, I can see that. All right, Sunday night game: Titans at the Chiefs.
This was a disappointing game because the Chiefs played like garbage.
I mean, we were sitting there watching this, and we're like,
we turned it off.
I mean, yeah, we were just like, this is not that great.
This actually, so I have a couple things. One, the Titans kind of blew it on this game because you should have kept it with Henry. You should have kept feeding Henry because Henry was literally feeding the Chiefs on his own. Second, goes to show, man, the Chiefs are they're gonna find ways. They kept it in there, and it was not a great game. Patty Mahomes actually had a really bad game. Travis Kelce had a really bad game.
Oh yeah, Kelce,
and he was getting very frustrated.
And he was getting frustrated with himself.
Yeah, it was himself. Well, it was himself, and the lack of calls from the referees. Now, I'm not one. You know me. I'm not one to blame referees. I fucking hate when people blame referees. It drives me nuts. I don't want to slap everyone that talks about it. I really do. Like, being a coach, I realize the hardship that referees go through. And I will talk to them if they miss calls. But like I understand, like the game is so fast paced. But to blame the referees for a game loss, shut the hell up. I want the game to be fair, but I'm not going to blame them when because I'm even one to not blame the referees in Super Bowl 40. Even though that's clearly a fixed game. That was clearly fixed. But to me, it's also one of those things where, well, Seattle, you just didn't win. Plain and simple. You know, I have a very pride thing when it comes to if you have to blame the referees for your loss, you didn't do enough to win the game anyways. That's my thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this year, I can see Kelsey's frustration because there were a lot of calls not being in that favor. He was kind of getting hammered, on the transition of the balls being there. So I get his frustration, but then again, the Chiefs found a way to win, which is I think the moral of my statement is if you lose and you blame the referees, well, why didn't you do anything to win the game? The game is not over yet. Don't blame the referees, blame yourself, figure out a way to win. And that's what Kelsey did. He kind of blamed himself, but he kind of was the leading factor of them coming back to win it. So, again, the Chiefs are proving that they're the best team in the AFC. Love the Bills, don't get me wrong. But with Patty Mahomes' resume, he makes them the better than Josh Allen. As of right now in their careers.
I mean, even in this game, they were even talking, everyone was saying the Titans are going to win this game the way it was going.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I even thought, oh, well, Titans, you got this one.
Yeah.
Good win, especially being the Chiefs at home. But no, Patty Mahomes found a way, tied the game up, got the 2 point.
Patty Mahomes is becoming like Tom Brady. Don't give him time. Don't give him a chance. Because if you give him a chance, he will burn you. He will make you regret it. And that's the one thing. That's why I do love Patrick Mahomes. Is that he's that quarterback where it's like, if you give me a chance to come back and win, if you're gonna beat me, kick my ass.
And then, like what a lot of people have also been pointing out as well, he doesn't have Tyreek Hill this year. He's winning without Tyreek Hill.
He's better without Tyreek Hill.
You even got Juju Smith-Schuster, who's here, who's been developing really well lately.
Well, now it's more balanced.
Not as a big deep threat, but he's been a sure hands guy.
Well, they're more balanced. Again, this is what we're talking about. We're more balanced. There's Malik Holdman. There's Malik Holdman, I think his name is Hardman. Excuse me. Juju Smith-Schuster, Travis Kelce. They have a couple of tight ends. They utilize Clyde Edwards-Helaire, McKinnon, and all that stuff.
Yep.
They're more balanced. And again, Tyreek's good. Tyreek needs a quarterback that just wants to throw to him deep. That's what Tyreek is. And again, it's good that he's on the Dolphins. He's helping Tua. Tua's getting confident now. But the Chiefs need to get away from him. Because
I think they have.
Tyreek. I'm saying they needed to.
Yeah.
Because Tyreek wanted the ball more than anybody. And the way the Chiefs are winning is that they're playing the balanced game. This is kind of like going back to the Seahawks and why I think they're so successful. And this is where credit has to be given to a guy like DK Metcalf. DK is the kind of guy that you thought last year, give me the ball. All I want to do is get the ball. But DK's your leading receiver, but he doesn't mind the ball getting shared to Tyler Lockett, D. Eskridge. All three are tight ends, which I think are the main weapons we have.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is when you put away your selfishness of, I want the ball, I want the touchdowns, I want to let score, and you get away from that, you become a better team.
Yeah. Especially that one play that everybody keeps showing where DK sold that ball was coming his way for a touchdown, which ended up giving Kenneth Walker, not have the quarterback turn around and say, oh shit, try to go help out and have Walker get in. I mean, you do stuff like that for your team, share.
You become selfless.
Well, you're not
selfish.
You're not selfish.
You're being selfless.
Yeah.
Selfless. Making sure I said that correctly.
Yeah.
That's the thing is that you're thinking of your team, and that's what the Chiefs did, and that's where I think because again too, like I never liked playing with the Chiefs in like Madden. It was the same thing. Run Tyreek Hill on the go route, throw it up there, boom. Now you don't see that, which is they don't need that.
I think it's also going to work out for Mahomes as well because people are just going to start playing a cover 2 or 3 coverage, having those guys drop back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more and more. And now that they don't have Tyreek Hill and they're not doing that as much, this helps Mahomes, not worrying to throw that ball up, and getting picked off or getting swatted down as much now.
Well, he actually becomes a better quarterback because you would always say, like, oh, all I just had to do throws up there and Tyreek's there.
Yeah.
Well, now you don't have that. Now you have to be a better quarterback, which was the same transition Tom Brady made from when he had Randy Moss. All just got to do is throw it up and Randy Moss will catch it. Well, now you don't have that. Now it's, well, now I need to spread the ball. Okay, and he's kind of learning that this year where he doesn't have Gronkowski. Big thing that always saved his career, he always had Gronk. Now he realizes, well, shit, my receivers are not doing well for me. I need to find a tight end. Cade Otton, great kid, is stepping up. The Seahawks and the Chiefs, very similar in a sense of that selfless football. You know, I will say if you compare the two teams, Chiefs are better than the Seahawks because of Patty Mahomes and Travis Kelce. You can't take away Kelce and Mahomes.
No, I agree.
That is on par with Brady and Gronk. Oh my God. Was it Dwight Clark and Peyton Manning? I think that was his name.
Yep.
Dwight Clark and Peyton Manning, Antonio Gates and Phillip Rivers. They're going to go down as one of the best combos of tight end and quarterback history.
I don't even think Tony Gonzalez really had a designated quarterback.
I would say Matt Ryan, maybe.
I think Matt Ryan was his most successful quarterback.
But there's also Trent Green in Kansas City too.
And Matt Castle, you could say as well. But that's what I'm saying. I would put Matt Ryan over. You could almost even put Algie Crumpler or Michael Vick back in the day.
I mean, you could also. There's a lot that you could say. You know, I'm not going to say it, but I know people.
Tony Romo and Jason Witten.
Oh, that one. But the one I know people are going to say, and I'm not going to say because I hate this quarterback. But I know people will say it: Shannon Sharp and John Elway.
Yeah, I can't say anything about it because I never got to see him. So
I never saw him too, but people are going to say it because they won those 2 Super Bowls together and everything like that. But John Elway sucked.
All right, guys, moving on to our final game, Monday night game, Ravens and Saints. I didn't get to hear too much about this game, but from what I heard, the typical Raven game.
We don't need to talk about it. Ravens kicked the shit out of them.
Yeah, typical Raven win, just dominating.
It got to the point where Lamar Jackson was toying with his team. That's how bad this game was, is that score-wise, don't think about the score or anything like that. Just think about this. He toyed with them. Also, too, I don't know if you saw the video of it, but in a fucking warm-up kick during warm-ups,
Justin Tucker
kicked an 87-yard field goal.
From the opposite 40, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 87 yards. 87 yards. He might not ever do in the game, but he kicked 87 fucking yards through the goalpost. It's amazing.
That is amazing. I'd like to see him do it under pressure with the defense.
I mean, he might be, but this was a great win for Baltimore in a really bad game for New Orleans. Nothing more to be said. Andy Dalton's proven that he's not the guy.
Yeah, I agree. And as you guys can see, we had 6 teams here on the bye week. Browns, Cowboys, Broncos, Giants, and Steelers, and 49ers. So they will be back here this coming week.
Oh, what a horrible week. We had a good week without Russell Wilson. Now we got to get him back.
Even though the Broncos didn't play, they still lost.
I mean, Russell Wilson, you lose at life.
Right. All right. Moving on to technically this week's schedule.
Yep.
Up first, we have on Thursday, Atlanta at Carolina.
I'm going to say this again. Carolina is shit. Give me the Falcons.
I'm going to go with Falcons as well because I have a feeling that Carolina is probably going to start tanking the rest of the season right now since they're pretty much out of it.
Yep.
So, and Atlanta needs a comeback win after last week's upset, so hope for that. Early goddamn game because it's in Germany. Seattle at Tampa Bay.
I'm a little torn on this one because I think this could be a start of the turnaround for Brady. But give me Seattle, because I don't know if Tampa Bay did it. But Seattle's in Germany right now, which is a very smart move. I don't know if the Buccaneers are there yet, but Seattle had the longest trip, and they eliminated that whole jet lag process. The thing that's a difference maker is that Seattle's defensive line knows how to get to a quarterback. And Brady's not a mobile quarterback, but Brady's also a quick release quarterback.
That's also why I'm going to go with Seattle, because I'm seeing their defense actually being pretty dominant over the Buccaneers' offense.
If they lose this game, I'm not disappointed because, again, you lose to Brady.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling in my gut that the Buccaneers will win this game. And it'd be kind of that start of that turnaround. But give me Seattle because I do think Seattle is the better team overall. And, again, I think the guy who's going to have the game of the week, Kenneth Walker.
Hopefully. I love him too. That boy's been great.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 games now?
At least 3
games with 2 touchdowns?
At least 3 games with 2 touchdowns and at least 3 games over 100 yards rushing.
I'm just saying these last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Hasn't he got 2 touchdowns these last 3 weeks?
No.
No, he only had 1 the previous.
He only had 1 against the Giants.
Came late.
Yeah, it came in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
But he has 3 games where he has over 2 touchdowns, and they also have like 100 plus yards.
He's actually had a touchdown every played.
He has, but he has a couple games where he has 2.
Yeah. So hopefully he can keep it rolling.
That's why I picked him up in fantasy football. Y'all were like, I don't want Kenneth Walker, and I'm like,
we didn't know who the guy was.
I said, believe in this man. Y'all were like, blah, blah, blah. And that's why I'm 72. Beat my opponent by 72 points. You don't disrespect the man. And I beat your totals of the week. You were like, I'm going to be the highest scorer because I got 72 points for Joe Mixon.
I actually had 77.
No, you had 72 points from Joe Mixon. Yeah, you ended at 277. I ended at 280.
Not by much.
Not by much.
I would have had some actual linebackers playing.
You actually had other guys step up.
Yeah, step up would be different. My tight end don't only give me half a point.
You rely on 2 guys. I rely on team. I build championship team.
I rely on 2 guys.
Dude, you take away the 72 goddamn points, you're not doing well.
It's not my fault they didn't perform.
Yeah, it is.
I told
Coach them up.
I did. I told you, you're going to play. You're going to play. You're going to play.
I told you. You got to be like Herman Boone from Remember the Titans, and you got to get this. Got to coach them up. Got to make them believe.
Up next, we have Minnesota at Buffalo. So, I'm going to go with Buffalo only because, not because if Josh Allen does play, but I'm going to go with Buffalo because I think their defense is actually going to take the Minnesota's offense. I think it's going to be more of a challenge.
I'm going to go against you. I'm going to go with the Vikings. Because there is a way there. Because Buffalo has shown some weaknesses lately, and especially, really, you got to think about Josh Allen's play the last couple weeks. He's thrown 4 picks in 2 weeks. He needs to play a little bit better in order to keep up the winning. And I think you just can't have a game like you did against the Jets, against the Vikings, because they're going to be a team to. I think it's hard. It is really hard, but I will say, give me Minnesota to beat Buffalo, and that's just a long shot. Again, it's another one. If Buffalo wins, I'm not disappointed, but I gotta go with the Vikings.
All right, good. Detroit at Chicago. Chicago.
Yeah, it's gonna be Chicago.
Detroit, you just got a lucky win over Green Bay, in my opinion.
Again, that was a shitty game. It was a shitty game all around.
But I think you're going to go back to your losing ways.
Next.
We have Denver at Tennessee.
Next.
Jacksonville at Kansas City. If
anyone's going to wonder, well, you didn't pick anyone in Tennessee, Denver. Fine, you want my pick? Give me Derrick Henry to run over that fucking shit like they're nothing. And get Russell Wilson to look like garbage. Tennessee. Your official pick.
All right, and then obviously Jacksonville and Kansas City.
Your pick for Tennessee.
I said Tennessee.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, because you kept saying next, so I threw mine out there, and then.
Kansas City.
Cleveland at Miami. I almost want to feel like Cleveland's going to pull it.
I'm really leaning that way too. Hey, Cleveland.
I'll go Cleveland too.
I think Chubb's going to be the reason why.
Yeah. He's been doing so good,
Yeah.
especially coming after a bye week
Yeah.
too, getting some rest.
Got to be healthy.
Houston at New York Giants.
Do I got to do this again?
Yep.
Fuck. I actually don't mind. If I had to pick between the New York teams, I guess the Giants would be the team. So give me the Giants.
New Orleans at Pittsburgh.
Both teams are shitty.
I'll go Pittsburgh.
New Orleans. I think actually it's not this game, but next week. I think TJ Watt's supposed to be back next week. That will be the difference maker.
That would be huge.
Yep.
Indianapolis at Las Vegas Raiders.
Raiders. Colts are just terrible.
Yeah, they're gonna start taking probably the rest of the season here real soon.
Yep.
If not this week.
Yep.
Dallas at Green Bay.
Dallas
is killing it right now. Green
God
Bay
damn it.
and Green Bay is just
God damn it! I used to only like you for the Cowboys cheerleaders. Now I like you for your whole damn team. Come on, Dallas. Don't make me a Cowboys fan.
I'm not going that far. I'm just picking you because you're the better
I'm gonna buy you a
team.
Dak Prescott jersey.
I will take it out and burn that.
I'll buy you a custom made Cowboys jersey with your number and it says Irwin.
A good fire starter. I need some.
Don't make me waste that money.
Yep.
You
won't waste your money on that. I will burn that thing. I'm serious.
I'm gonna frame it.
Remember, I come from a San Francisco family too.
I'm gonna bring a tattoo artist in here while you're sleeping. That's gonna be a tattoo on you. The Dallas Cowboys star.
Good luck with that.
Oh no, we gonna make it happen. We knock your ass out.
You better figure out how to knock me out. Shit.
That ain't hard.
We'll take anything from you.
I
got your drink, Kelly. You want some?
No, I'll just knock your ass out.
Wow. Damn.
You ain't gonna take sleeping medicine? Fine. I'll sit there with those hollow bats you hit the wiffle balls with.
Yeah.
I'll slap you across the face with that. You'll just get knocked the hell out. Damn. Every time you go to conscious, finish.
I'll also get you a LeBron James logo tattooed on you then too. While you're out.
I mean, fucking
figure a way to cover it.
I mean, his logo's a crown, so honestly, my last name is King, so I can just play it off saying it's my logo, so.
But there will be a 6 underneath it.
You know, I'll even say that's for, in honor of, Dan Wilson.
Dan the Man.
Dan the Man Wilson, there you go. Come at me with anything, I'll find
How are you going to explain the yellow and the purple? It's going to be colored.
Yellow and purple?
Yeah. How are you going to explain that?
Easy. I'm supporting UW.
Or LSU then, or something.
Oh, no. I ain't going that far. I'd rather represent UW than go Tigers.
Arizona at Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, what a shitty game. Give me the Rams.
Rams. Sunday night game. Chargers at San Francisco. San Francisco.
Niners.
Monday night matchup. We have the Washington at Philadelphia. Philly. And Cincinnati, New England, New York. Jets and Baltimore are on a bye week.
You know, I'm going to say this. I'm going to call this right now. You know why Philadelphia is not going to win the Super Bowl this year? Because they've already lost 2 other championships this year. It ain't looking pretty for them.
What was it? That first time
in history
a city
has lost 2 major sports championships in a single day, and that was they lost to the Astros in the World Series.
Yep.
And they lost in the MLS Cup.
Yep.
So Philadelphia, hate to break it to you.
And what we say? Yeah, well, the Flyers aren't going to the Stanley Cup.
Flyers. I mean,
hockey.
I want to look this up and see how actually these Philadelphia teams.
The 76ers won't make it.
They got James Harden. They're fucked. They're fucked. I actually want to see how some of these teams are. The Flyers. Yeah, 7-3, off to a pretty decent start. Currently ranking 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 7th in the NHL, and the Sixers are 5-6. So Philadelphia, you ain't winning a championship this year.
By the way, Kraken are up 4-1
Nice.
in the third period.
Did your Hulu Live already go up?
I think so.
I was just saying because if it's not, it's on TNT. We'd be.
I'm gonna be going
Yeah.
after this. All right, everybody. Thank you all very much. As Ryan had announced the name of the new podcast name,
Big fat duh.
we will have that all up here, running here next week. So make sure you come find us over on YouTube. That's also where we're going to be doing the streaming as well. We're not going to do it through Twitch. We're just going to do it there from now on. That way it's separated out. We could also possibly too actually stream on both. But we'll probably create a whole new Twitch channel. But we're going to start as little, small right now. Just stick with the YouTube. If we want to expand, we'll discuss that later. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, look forward to that next week. Ryan, you got anything else you'd like to add before we end the night?
As always, remember to like and subscribe when we can start the channel. Tell your friends, give us ideas if you want to on shows that you want us to do. Like, I wouldn't mind doing like a Big Fat Dubs review of Black Panther Wakanda Forever when it comes out. Just ideas and everything like that. And as always, with all these sports talks, tag ESPN, tag Stephen A. I'm coming at you.
Also the one what I really been wanting to do, Ryan's Rants. And
Yeah.
I've actually
the name of that is being changed.
What's it called? What do you want it to be called? What do you want to think about it?
Ryan's list of fuck yous. Because ain't just no rants. Every one of those guys get a big old fat fuck you.
Something I've been really wanting him to do. Just listen to him going off on, well, I figured out how to do it too. I found a place where I can actually create a spin wheel and have it go and just pick somebody, and then Ryan just gets to go to town.
It ain't gonna have to be just an athlete. It could be a team. I'll do a team. I'll do a whole team. But remember, I got high blood pressure. You gotta make sure I limit down, because I'll get fired up.
All right, everybody. Thank you all very much for this. We'll hope to see you here next week. And as always,
Deuces.
good night, everybody. Thank you very much.